Bottom five, top of the order, due up here for Great Lakes. Your TinCaps trailing the Loons 3-0. Game 3 of this 6-game series right here on the TinCaps Radio Network. Chuck Davlin, Emil Morales, Logan Wagner due up to face Javier Chacon. And Davlin 0 for 2 tonight. 8-game hitting streak entering play here in this one. The first pitch chases a slider low in the zone. We've mentioned in this 8-game hitting streak for Chuck, all of those games have featured at least 2 hits. Now launched a homer, his 17th of the season, a 2-run shot back on Tuesday night. Here's the 0-1. And it's high and tight.
I'm going to say a guy is batting .486 across the last week. Just incredible. And again, the wealth of riches in this outfield core for the Dodgers.
And 14 hits for Davlin dating back to last Tuesday. That's more than anyone in the Midwest League. It's the 1-1 right down the chute, taken for strike 2. Guy right behind him, Ryan Weidman, over on the Fort Wayne side. Chacon looking for the rare strikeout here of Davlin, the left-handed hitting left fielder, as always, penned into the top of the card for manager Jair Fernandez. 1-2 pitch, down in the dirt, smothered by Lamar King Jr. And for Davlin, 86 games on the season entering play tonight. A .933 OPS. Along with his 8-game hitting streak, he has a knock in 11 of his last 12. Chacon peers in, has his signs from King, and comes set. The 2-2 is popped up on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Justin Acrisio draws back, now comes in to put this one away. 1 down.
And now's the part of the order that if you're Chacon, you got to go straight after him. Emil Morales, who's been a TinCaps killer this season, Logan Wagner, and Chase Harlan behind him have struggled a little bit this week. So got to go straight after him and get out of this 5th inning quickly.
And for Morales, the shortstop, how weird was it not seeing him in the card last night? The hot stretch has continued. He's 2 for 2 today. He's now got a hit in his last 8 games. Chacon's first pitch is just off the plate. And back on Tuesday, Morales singled in the 4th inning. He reached base in 2 of his 4 plate appearances. And has had overall a really great month of July. The 1-0 offering. A changeup in there for a strike.
My only thought of maybe keeping out of the card yesterday, only 19 years old, so trying to make sure that he kind of develops well into these long seasons as still just a teenager, despite a couple of years down in the Dominican Summer League where he dominated.
1-1 slider up and away. Morales now ahead at 2 balls and a strike. I think you bring that up. That's the most impressive thing. Last couple of seasons we've been here in the Midwest League, the amount of teenagers we've seen roll through this league and have success. Some of them have been right here with Fort Wayne. 2-1 is too tall for ball 3.
Or it's been the same case on the other side. Nobody in this lineup, nobody offensively on this team is above 22 years old this season for the Great Lakes Loons. They went into the season the youngest team in the league. Fort Wayne, the oldest on the other side.
Chacon's 3-1 here to Morales. Is up and out, ball 4. 3rd time on base here in this one. A 1-out runner over on first for the Loons. We look at another guy besides Morales. Last season when you and I were here with Fort Wayne, you saw Eduardo Quintero come up right before his 20th birthday. He played the entire season at the age of 19. He turned 20 on September 16th after the regular season had concluded. You see Leo DeVries for Fort Wayne, Eduardo Tait over with Cedar Rapids and the Minnesota Org, and many more teenagers who have made an impact these last 2 seasons. First offering to the switch-hitting second baseman, Logan Wagner, way outside, sprawling out just to put a glove on that one, was Lamar King Jr.
Not a teenager anymore. Pretty cool to see. Ethan Salas, now the youngest everyday player at the AAA level. What a start to his AAA tenure. Double, triple home run away from the cycle yesterday with a pair of absolute missiles to the gaps.
The 1-0 here from Chacon is down and in. Yeah, former TinCap back in 2024, Ethan Salas, now knocking on the door of a chance to play some big league baseball. Certainly earned the promotion, just dominated the Texas League with AA San Antonio this season. Long pause. Now the 2-0 is high and wide.
I think the bigger thing, though, really happy the Padres allowed him to honestly settle down in Double-A San Antonio, kind of get his feet truthfully wet in the Texas League after they kind of rushed him a couple of times, both between up here to High A Fort Wayne and then up to Double-A San Antonio the first time.
3-0 the count. Here it comes. And taking all the way is Wagner. This one right down the middle for strike one. And that's a very common conversation. Certain organizations approach things differently. How quickly you want to see a prospect rise through the ranks. Some like to be super patient, take their time more than anything. The 3-1 to Wagner is popped up in foul ground, first base side. Jack Costello over. He's got plenty of room in front of the Great Lakes dugout to make a two-handed catch for out number 2.
Yeah, it feels like these Dodgers have been an organization that allows their guys to kind of marinate at each level before moving up. You look at guys like Chuck Davalin, easily could be in Double-A right now. Josue DePaula easily could be in Triple-A right now. Allowing these guys to take their time, have a full season with their group, and be ready the next year.
3-0 here, Great Lakes with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. It'll bring up the third baseman, Chase Harlan. Over on first is Emil Morales. Chacon kicks and fires. A fastball pumped in for a strike. I think we see an example of this today. Max Clark, top 15 prospect in all of baseball according to MLB Pipeline for the Detroit Tigers, finally getting the bump up. He's heading to the show. An awesome journey to follow here in the minor league ranks. So they move over to first, back in safely is Morales. Clark just in the Midwest League a year ago with West Michigan, a team that won 92 games and were the eventual champions here in this league. Cone set. Couple looks over to first. The 0-1. Just upstairs.
And him being reunited with Kevin McGonigal, those two were dominant here for a couple of seasons in the Midwest League. And there was so much conversation, could Clark make it out of camp? You knew Kevin McGonigal was going to be able to do it after his torrid stretch down the DR.
And next offering downstairs, backhanded by Lamar King Jr. 2 balls and a strike here on Harlan. That was part of the big 3 last year. Josue Briseño, along with those 2. They were with West Michigan for a long time. Talk about that process of keeping those guys in a spot for maybe longer than they should have been. They were moved up right around the All-Star break to Double-A Erie. 2-1 pitch lifted in the air down the right field line. Slicing into foul territory near the Loons dugout. Alex McCoy gives chase, and the right fielder is able to flag it down to end the inning. Javier Chacon faces just 1 over the minimum here in the bottom of the 5th and keeps the Loons off the board. 3-0 remains the score in favor of Great Lakes as we head to the 6th here on the TinCaps Radio Network.